ANAS ANAS versus Kennedy Agyapong. Now, what is the meaning of this title? The meaning of this title is that the one whose name comes first is the one who sued. Now, ANAS sued Kennedy Agyapong in court, okay? ANAS's concern was that the documentaries that are being shown are sort of defaming him. So let's get to the details. So in this presentation, I'm going to show you what ANAS said. What is his concern? What is the Kennedy Agyapong's defense, and what did the judge say? Where we have more information to make the whole presentation and narrative better explained, we will add it. So please stay with me. 15 minutes, I'll be done. Don't worry. It's now 15 minutes to the top of the hour 10. All right. Title of the case: ANAS versus Kennedy Agyapong. Let's move on. All right. So the facts are as follows. The plaintiff, ANAS. Now, anytime I see plaintiff, I'm going to replace with the name ANAS. And anytime I see defendant, I'm going to replace with the name Kennedy Agyapong, so that it's simple for all of us to understand, isn't it? All right. ANAS is an investigative journalist who has acquired fame by conducting undercover investigations and exposing supposed corrupt people in society. Kennedy Agyapong, who is a defendant, is a member of Parliament of Ghana who alleged that ANAS engaged in corruption by picking and choosing what content to release after he had solicited for bribes from his victims. All right. More facts. This culminated in Kennedy airing a documentary titled "Who Watches the Watchman?" ANAS did not take lightly to this and sued Kennedy Agyapong, claiming that Kennedy had defamed him. All right. What was the case of ANAS in this defamation matter? ANAS alleges that the actions of Kennedy Agyapong has affected his standing in society. 1. 2. He alleges further that Kennedy Agyapong's allegations have no standing. 3. He claims 25 million cedis from Kennedy Agyapong in libel. Now, when people sue in defamation, what is really on trial, apart from the words that have been allegedly used to defame him, the other thing on trial, as we were told in school all the time, is the reputation of the person who is suing. So if I sue you in libel, there are two things on trial. What is on trial is the words that you are alleging that I've used against you, whether they're going to assess it and distill it through the legal lenses. So they're going to talk about the evidence, the facts, the thinking. All of that is going to come up in conversation at the trial. The other thing on the trial is that the person who has sued, can he really claim the reputation that he says he has? Now, it is about this reputation that the money comes in. If you look at your reputation and you think your reputation is big, you sue high, blah, blah, blah. ANAS believed that according to his reputation, he deserved 25 million Ghana cedis from Kennedy Agyapong. So let's see what happened next after that. All right. ANAS alleges against Kennedy Agyapong the following. So this is from the court document. These are the allegations that ANAS makes against Kennedy. 1. Kennedy says of ANAS that ANAS is a murderer and he killed a former member of parliament, Joseph Boachi Dankwa Edu. 2. ANAS is an abettor of the murder of several nationals. An abettor. ANAS is an abettor of the murder of several nationals. This is what ANAS Kennedy said. 3. ANAS is an evil and dishonest person. 4. ANAS is a thief. 5. ANAS is suffering from mental derangement. And 6. ANAS cheated his way through law school. Wow. Okay. Then it continues. ANAS promotes illegal mining. ANAS is a fraudster. ANAS is an extortionist. And ANAS is a blackmailer. All right. So that's the allegations that we have reproduced from the court document. These are the things that Kennedy said about ANAS, and these are the things that ANAS took to the court and said, the man has said all of this about me, and so he has defamed me. So how was the court going to treat it? Let's first look at what response Kennedy initially gave. All right, let's move on. Kennedy Agyapong's case. Kennedy says that his allegations against ANAS were justified. 2, he says that his comments were true and fair, and therefore serve as a defense in an action for defamation. Later tonight, we'll look at the various defenses for defamation, maybe in the next slide. All right. The issues that the court determined. So what happens in the court in a civil trial is that plaintiff makes his assessment, says that this is my case. The defendant comes in, and even before the trial starts, the two parties meet with the judge, and they determine the issues for settlement. It happens in every trial, whether criminal or civil. Issues for settlement would be determined. It is after the issues are determined that people begin to see their chances of winning or losing the case. So what were the issues determined by both parties and the umpire to be the real issues for settlement in this matter? They are as follows. whether or not Kennedy Agyapong defamed ANAS. That's obvious. That's going to come up. So the court is going to assess that. Did he defame him or not? 2, whether or not Kennedy Agyapong's statements were justified, because he's pleading the defense of justification. When I say pleading, I mean he's saying that in his defense, he's saying that whatever he said was justified. All right, the 3rd one, whether or not ANAS is entitled to 25 million cedis from Kennedy Agyapong or not, because the court may come to the conclusion that yes, ANAS was defamed. The court may come to the conclusion that Kennedy's statements were not justified, but they may say that there's not 25. They may say it should be more, or they could say it should be less.